covered the game on Saturday and I said that if we can get a draw in the Old Firm, it would be the best possible result that Hearts can get and Motherwell can get, and it certainly played out that way.
There's no way Martin will be happy at everything that's going on at Celtic at this moment in time.
You're talking aboard?
Everything.
But I still think, the both Old Firm, even if they have to go more or less all the 9 games left unbeaten or win them all, to win the title, I still think they have a chance.
Who's going to win the league?
Rangers.
Are you being serious? Going to win the league?
I've been serious. Have you been serious?
Hello there, how you doing? And welcome back to another edition of the Wee Football Show, an exclusively Scottish and proud show brought to you by talkSPORT Bet. What an episode we have in store. Another amazing week in the Scottish Premiership. The title race is well and truly hot. We've got lots to get stuck into, including an epic Old Firm draw, an impressive Hearts win to push them clear at the top, and another victory for Motherwell, who are in phenomenal form right now. To help me do it, joined by talkSPORT's finest Rangers legend Ali McCoist, Celtic legend Johan Mjällby, and Hearts legend Ryan Stevenson. Fine company today,
well,
right?
I tell you what, we've got plenty to talk about, that's for sure.
It doesn't stop this season, Ali.
Shebahn, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, right? Another clean sheet and victory for Motherwell. Hearts, another victory, which is all they need to do. And the Old Firm game was just, it was madness. Celtic, Rangers, different class first half. Celtic really poor, and it was just complete role reversal. Celtic getting a deserved draw, in my opinion, for the second half performance, which and probably worked out the best result for Hearts and maybe the best result for Motherwell.
I think it had a lot of people going at the weekend. Ryan, Johan, OK, this very well now could be Hearts' season, which you're a happy man about.
Yes, I think I covered the game on Saturday and I said that if we can get a draw in the Old Firm, it would be the best possible result that Hearts can get and Motherwell can get, and it certainly played out that way.
It's funny that, Ryan, because I was asking a few of the Hearts boys before the game, obviously after their victory, because they got their own job to do and they did that, what they would want in the Old Firm game. And most of them, I'm thinking, did they want a victory for somebody to kind of rule one of them out? But no, they all wanted a draw.
No, I think the draw was the best. was the best outcome.
Kidding.
I think the fact that Motherwell can now catch Celtic and Rangers just adds to it as well.
Oh, listen, we're going to get into the full bulk of it. Lots to get into. Johan, what a pleasure to have you here in the studio.
Thank you. No, I really enjoyed that Old Firm. Back to like a classic Old Firm where they showed emotions.
Yeah.
It was passion and it was so much at stake. But yeah, Celtic, it was a game of two halves. Yeah. Celtic were unbelievable poor, Rangers very strong in the first half, and then they got that lifeline back, Kieran Tierney's goal, you could see the belief. Because, let's look at the positives from the Celtic point of view. They've been banging goals in the extra time in the last dying seconds of every game. So they show they still believe they will go to the final whistle. But yeah, it's a lot of negatives as well.
Yeah. Talk to me about Chimiti's goal. Were you thinking maybe one of the best in Old Firm history?
Well, it's got to come into the equation. I think a great Old Firm goals. I think a Jonas Terns, fellow countryman, scored a ridiculous goal in a game I played in. I can remember Henrik's chip, which was a ridiculous goal. There's been some brilliant goals, but that would certainly come into the conversation. He's a centre forward that clearly enjoys playing against the bigger teams. He scored against Celtic, scored against Hearts, very important goals. And that's something as an Old Firm centre forward, any centre forward you've got to do. But the quality of that goal, he just hung it up and it was...
It wasn't only the timing, it was the power as well. Look at the power.
That's what I thought, Johan, incredible. To generate the power in the overhead kick was ridiculous. It was a brilliant goal. His second goal wasn't too shabby either, by the way, but the first goal was brilliant.
Yeah, he's really kind of found his form now, hasn't he? Like you mentioned, scoring against the big clubs, considering it was quite a tough start for him, wasn't it, in terms of arriving at Rangers?
Certainly was. I wasn't too impressed by him. I know he's young, but he's certainly, he showed everyone, especially against Celtic, that he's a quality striker and that he will get you goals if you give him patience and time.
Yeah. I want to ask you all just about this current season, because we've discussed it so many times. But Ryan, it looks like your Hearts are going to do it. The first time that any other team other than Rangers of Celtic have done it in 40 odd years since Aberdeen with Sir Alex Ferguson. and it's happening.
Still 9 or 10 games to go.
Nine games to go.
6 points. I suppose we've still got a game in hand.
9 games to go. I know, but it's at Aberdeen tonight, so I mean, I just feel Hearts will win it. I've seen a lot of their games. I've seen a lot of the Rangers games. Seen a lot of the Celtic games. I think Hearts are just assured. You know, sometimes they're not great, but they grind out results. Anytime they've had a knock, they've followed it straight up with a win. And I just think 9 games. It's 9 games.
What's the difference in this team, Ryan? Because I think I said to you, see after the game on Sunday, the Old Firm game, I swear to God, the P couldn't have been stopped rolling about in the whistle, and wee Robbo was on to me, right? Wee John Robertson, right? All the Hearts flags and all that stuff. So I think now there's a real belief, right? Whereas I think maybe a few weeks ago everybody was delighted, but there was still a little bit of concern. I've noticed a change where the Hearts boys actually really believe it now.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of apprehension in the last 10 minutes or so in the game at the weekend.
Natural.
Which is, again, exactly, it's going to be natural. But the fans actually, there was 15 minutes to go and the fans all stood up. And Aberdeen had a couple of chances and you could just feel the fans stand up. The players then sort of stood up as well. I just go back to Derek, mate. I think Derek is such a good manager. I think he instills that belief in the players. And I think now, I think it's always difficult. It was like 15 games, so there was still so much left to play for. Now that you're down at 9, and you're watching Rangers draw at Livingston, you're watching Hibs beat Celtic at Celtic Park, then you watch the two of them do what they do at the weekend, as you say. Rangers are brilliant first half, horrendous second half, and vice versa. It's 9 games.
But do you know who we've not even mentioned, right? who will ever saying it? The team that beat Celtic at Celtic Park and the team that will do anything to stop Hearts winning it, and that's Hibs. Yeah. I mean, how are Hibs feeling right now? And they'll have us saying it as well.
And that's just bizarre. In terms of being a Celtic legend, at some point, do you feel this has to happen to Scottish football? Or does it still hurt all the same? Oh, it hurts.
No, you don't. Why change the landscape? I don't understand that.
Totally agree.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, we all have to admit, regardless if you're a Celtic fan or not, this has not been a vintage Celtic team at all this season. Correct. They've been very, very poor when it comes to... They've been so used to play football with style and been winning quite handsomely for a long, long time. But now, obviously, they still have the same kind of players because, you know, Hearts, Rangers and Celtic, they're built a bit differently because Celtic don't really have the, the physicality that Hearts and Rangers got. Yeah. But when that doesn't work, you have to do something else. And obviously Martin O'Neill helps because with his experience, he knows he's a bit more direct maybe than the previous managers. But right now, it's a tough ask for Celtic because their game is not really working at the moment. They are conceding too many easy goals. But on the good, they are winning under Martin O'Neill. But the thing is, they need to win more or less all the 9 games that are left. So it is a tough ask, even if I believe they can do it.
Do you think they can?
Yeah, I've said for a number of months that Hearts will not go away. They will not go away because it's not because they have, they got Braga, great player, but it's not because they've got great players. They've got a really great team. Because they work so hard for each other, they got the physicality. I think they got strong centre halves, and that's always a key to obviously lift the trophy. Yeah, it is. But for Rangers and Celtic, they need to win the rest of the games. I think too. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if it all gonna come off on the last day of the season.
Do you think Celtic can win it?
Yeah. I think you've got to have the belief. Yeah. That
they still have players, they're used to winning. I think that's going to be...
I think that gives us advantage.
I'd love to ask, I want to ask a Heartsman the question. Who do you fear most?
Motherwell.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Your taxi's outside, Ryan.
Well, I thought you might say that. That's why I asked you.
I'm telling you.
See, I don't think there's any doubt. Johan's spot on, right? Rangers and Celtic are nothing like the calibre. But that's no Hearts' problem. No. And that's not Motherwell's problem. Hearts are there because they deserve to be there. That's the first thing you've got to say. Right? They can't have any bearing on how Rangers and Celtic perform. No. All they can do is get their own house in order, and that's what they've done. And I've got to say, you mentioned it, centre-back. I think you said centre-backs. Halkett and Finlay, different. Spine of the team. And I'm just so impressed. I thought they would miss Devlin and Shanklin more. I really did. But they've been first class.
They signed the boy Mark Leonard
Yep.
from Birmingham, who's been brilliant. And then obviously I was saying to you guys off here, Claudio Braga has stepped up to
Tremendous,
another level. Like, I mean, the way he stepped in, he's took the mantle, the goals he scored. Lawrence is such a big link between midfield and the strikers, Kizaridis and Braga. But Braga's actually sort of done that. Kabori's obviously went up front. So the impact that he's made and the responsibility that he's taken on since Lawrence has been out has been huge.
Can I ask you all, do you think Hearts are performing well, kind of as you touched on there, because Hearts are playing well or because Rangers and Celtic have been so poor?
Well, Hearts are playing well, in my opinion, right? I really think... I'm interested to hear, Ryan, they've obviously seen more games than me. I've obviously watched all the highlights I can. I probably think their level of play has dipped a little bit, right? My opinion. But at this stage, I don't think that matters. What matters is beating Aberdeen 1-0, beating Falkirk 1-0. That's what matters. I think generally, I don't know. I just think the standard of football, level of football, which at this stage doesn't matter, probably has dipped a little bit. But it's all about winning games of football, and that's what they're doing.
They're efficient. They're efficient in everything they do. And I think that, again, comes from the manager. There's no... Football for a wee while, for me, for a little while, has been so overcomplicated with things where Derek just literally comes in and the way he wants to play is move it into the middle. If Cammy Devlin's there, get it wide to the wider players, get it in the box, ask questions. And they've done that majority of the season. And I think they've been really, really good at it. And I just think the last 9 games, they'll be efficient like they have been the full season.
Okay. Johan, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think... Are you surprised? Because just to reset, Tony Bloom goes into Hearts with a 10-year vision, and it looks like in his first year at the club, they're going to win the league. Is that just good business? I was going to say
it's a chance of a lifetime for them, but like I say, he's got a 10-year plan. All the credit to Hearts. I mean, like I said, they've been a brilliant team this season, and it's like Coister says, it's not their headache that Celtic and Rangers, I would say, are not as good and as strong as they should be. Not used to be, should be, because they've had problems this season, both teams, with managers coming in and going out. So it's not Hearts' problem, They are there for a reason. They are there because they are a good team. But I still think, the Beaufort firm, even if they have to go more or less all the 9 games left unbeaten or win them all, to win the title, I still think they have a chance. They're still in it, the both teams, So it's... and we should sit here, after the 4 or 5 games that are left before the split. Then after split, we can sit down and see.
We probably even have a different opinion. I was going to ask you, mate, how much of a loss? I think it's a great loss, Carter Vickers and Johnson.
Yes.
But at the centre defence, I think Carter Vickers a big miss, mate.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And you had Jota as well to a certain degree. So 3 big players for them has been out, but you can't cry over that.
No, I know.
They still had, They still had transfer windows to sort it out, and maybe we shouldn't, dwell in too much, the transfer window that we just had. But the one in the summer was just shambolic for Celtic. But that's not a reason, They haven't been as strong, I don't think they played as well as they should do and should be doing, And I don't think they'd be strong enough, especially with Carter Vickers' injury. Defensively, they've been poor.
You know Derek McInnes really well, Ryan. You've had experiences with him, which I want to hear about. But then when you look at Martin O'Neill being at Celtic for the 3rd time, the 2nd time in 1 season, 73 years old with all that experience, do you think he'll have the edge over Derek if it does go down to the wire?
No, I don't. I think Derek is so assured in himself. I mean, Derek's been a player at the highest level. He's managed for a long time. Obviously, there's that experience that Martin's got, and you can never take that. And what Martin has done when he first came in and secondly came in has been magnificent, because when you strip it all back, Celtic is in a mess. Board level, fans, it is a collective mess, and then that filters onto the park. So the job that Martin O'Neill has done has been amazing. I just don't see Derek... Coisty, you know him as well. I don't see him... He won't be getting stressed out with this situation.
He's getting a bit of jip over what happened at the weekend with the barge and the player. You're not going to see Martin O'Neill do that.
No, listen, there's no way you can take anything away from Martin.
Martin O'Neill's
It'd be great.
I wouldn't mind scenery.
Martin O'Neill sprinted 35 yards at the end of the game.
I know.
That's not bad for a 74-year-old.
First things first, Martin has got experience over the course and distance. Brilliant, right? It's only my opinion, and it's guesswork. There is no way Martin will be happy at everything that's going on at Celtic at this moment in time.
You're talking at board.
Everything. Bored, falling out with the fans, because the one thing, the big difference, and it's a massive difference, and I even hear Rangers fans at the moment being slightly critical of the manager, which is, I think, is outrageous. Of course you're open to criticism, I get that, team selections. But that fella's taking Rangers for second, third, bottom of the league. All of a sudden, people are talking about getting a chance to win the league. So let's put that into perspective, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing, the big difference, Hearts, right, out of certainly Celtic and probably Rangers, Hearts are united, right? Yeah. They're all together. There's no factions, no fans falling out the board and board managers and all that kind of stuff, right? They're completely, as are Motherwell, completely and utterly together, and that's a big, big thing. Yeah. But get back to the original question, Derek will not bother one bit. He has got nothing but the utmost respect for Martin and what Martin's achieved in the game as a player and as a manager. But that's fish and chip paper. Okay. His job's Hearts winning that league, and that's all he'll be focused on.
I mean, in terms of then the criticism that Danny Röhl's in for at the weekend, do you think that's unfair from the fans? Is that just the pressure?
It goes with the territory, right? You're always going to get criticism whether you're a player or manager. It goes with the territory, and you have to accept that. But I just think you need to take a wee bit of a step back. It was a disappointing second half. And away games, I think they've only taken 3 points from a possible 9 through Easter Road, through to Livingston. Off the top of my head, can't remember the last one, whatever it may be. So you're always open to criticism there. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think you've got to look from where we were when he came in, where we are now, still in with a realistic chance, opportunity of winning the league, right? Big cup game at the weekend. Wow. So I get it goes with the territory, the stick, but come on, let's get united like Hearts are.
I know.
With the same group of players, basically.
Yeah.
The job that Danny Röhl's
only 11 new ones or something.
Well, I mean, I think I think the job he's done, and I've covered a few
in the window there.
Yeah, and they've done good business in January, bringing the 3 in early doors. But they were good value for their win over Hearts. They're probably. I fancy Rangers more than what I do Celtic. And I know that kills you. Sorry for saying that, but I genuinely, I genuinely do. I just think there's so much turmoil at Celtic that if they get a couple of bad results on the spin, I just think the wheels will fall off.
Going back then to the Old Firm at the weekend, was that a penalty?
I have to say so. Even if the game has gone soft, don't get me wrong, the game has gone soft. You know, I think it's important we have to stress that it needs to be a lot of physicality in football. You know, why take it away? It's just gone soft. But if we go by the law, that is a penalty. You know, we can't argue against that. It is a handball because the header is going towards the goal, and obviously takes a wee bit of a other direction. That's why I think it's a penalty.
Tell you where I'm on it, right? I actually don't have a problem with getting given, right? And I understand why it's given. But take away the game, right? And let's talk about the incident. The centre-half, what's he meant to do, right? It's certainly not an intentional handball, right? In my opinion, his hand's in a completely natural position for a footballer going to block something. Does it stop the ball going into the back of the net? Possibly, so I understand it. But I'm just saying, I just think that the handball law, some of the decisions with the handball law just now are scandalous, right? I just think you have to bring the word intentional to a certain degree back into... I mean, some of the things, guys having shots and the guy's arms there and certain... I don't think you've been given a penalty. Now, one of the worst ones, I'd love to hear the boys' opinion on it. I don't know if you saw Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool when the boy smashes it off McAllister. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because flying into the goal and they give a handball.
I couldn't believe it.
That for me, that's the whole issue, Shebahn. That is the issue in a nutshell. That's a goal all day, right? And
he turned his side, didn't he? He didn't even hit his arm.
That's my problem. the one in the Old Firm game is more of a handball. I get that. I've got sympathy with the defender because I don't think it's intentional, and he doesn't know much about it. But that one I was telling you about, that is why there has to be clarification.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's played into this season as well, is VAR in Scottish football. I mean, we complain about it. The Premier League complains about it a lot. Scotland are still newer with it, but it's causing a lot of issues, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a fan, I'm sorry.
Guys, take a breath.
Yeah,
Well, they're going to blow.
I had asked about the coverage of cameras. So the coverage in the Premier League in England, I think they're saying at any game is 24 to 26 cameras round about the pitch. So the officials have more of an opportunity to see the lines. I think in Scotland it's like 4. Now, some of so again, then I'm trying to do them a favour here by saying it can be more difficult, but then I look at the decisions up at Aberdeen against Motherwell, I think it was, and they were trying to draw the lines, and I mean, it's actually embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't think Scotland's equipped. That's just my personal opinion to have VAR, because the decisions that they make are ridiculous.
There's some horrendous decisions.
So just scrap it.
I mean, I get a bit of stick about it. I'm not sending Trusty off against Hibs, right? I'm not.
I heard you.
I'm not. I think it's one of them.
Yeah.
You're talking about taking physical contact out of the game. Somebody will say to me it's really aggressive. It's not. If somebody's pulling you and actually go like that.
Exactly.
Diabolical decision.
So you wouldn't have sent off Trusty?
No way.
The one at St Mirren, the sending off at St Mirren, the boy, is it Smith? Right? I think it was Slat. That might be the worst decision in a long, long time. And obviously the tackle at Livingston, whether we think it's a penalty or not, the one thing I think we're all in agreement, it's a free kick. And they're going over to look at screens. This is the problem I've got. They're going over to look at screens. See if they make a mistake. We all make mistakes. Players, managers, coaches, whatever it may be, referees make mistakes. But I find it difficult to work out how you can go over and look at a screen and watch it 6, 7 times and still make a mistake.
And find the issue with it. Also,
I mean, even at Man United, at the sending off against Palace.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a terrible decision.
Yeah.
And they're looking at screens. I don't like it. Yeah. And do you know something? I've got to be honest, guys. I'm the biggest hypocrite of all because I thought it would be a good thing. I did, because I thought to myself, anything that rights are wrong must be a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's no right and wrongs.
No.
So I eat humble pie. I don't like it.
No, I thought it would be good as well, especially when it comes to offside rule,
Yeah.
If you could spot, someone was half a yard offside, sometimes they can miss it, even if the refs are very good at it. So I thought it would be
and God help us,
very good.
We're changing it again.
I don't like
We're changing it again. Next year, seemingly, if it's a corner or a back kick and they get that wrong, did you know that? That's the next one. No. If a referee gives a back kick and it's a corner, VAR are getting involved.
Oh, yes, they are going to intercept this.
And then they tell you they're not refereeing the games.
Yeah. I know. Listen, we've got to get on board with it.
We're going to have AI refs soon.
We are.
Yeah. I'm like, did AI get it wrong? I mean, if you actually use ChatGPT to do any research, 9 times out of 10 it's wrong.
Is it?
You be careful.
I don't
Co-commentator of the year over here.
I don't get involved in the AI. All right, folks, it's Ali McCoist here, and I have got an absolute belter of an offer for all you Scotland fans. When you stick a tenner on with talkSPORT Bet, we'll give you 40 quid, yes, £40 in free bets, and it's just for you lot watching the Scotland show. So if you fancy getting involved, head over to talksport.com/WFS and claim your exclusive offer today. And I don't say I do not look after you lot.
Looking ahead then to this weekend, we go again. Is there advantage then for Danny Röhl? Is there advantage for Martin O'Neill?
I really don't know. I think Ali said a really good thing, when it comes to Rangers Celtic, they need to get united behind their respectable team right now. It's no point of the Celtic fans moaning now, being, fighting the team or the club or the board now, because, they can't bring any new players in. And it's so much to play for still of the season. You've got the league, you've got the cup as well. So the fans, they just need to just get behind the team and let's see how it's going to pan out. But it's a 50-50 game again.
If Celtic win at the weekend, Ryan, or Rangers, right, do you think that could maybe kickstart their season, see them pumped to chase Hearts between now and the...
No.
Okay.
not in the slightest. I genuinely don't. As I said, I think when I look at Motherwell and I look at Hearts, the two of them, and it's crazy saying that, they look more assured than what Rangers and Celtic are at the moment.
I agree.
I think Rangers are a bit more united because I think Danny Röhl's done a really good job. But I think just the total mess that is Celtic just now, and that goes fans, board level, I just think it's so messy that I just don't see how they
I still wonder
get
though
through this.
if the Hearts players themselves, when it comes to nitty-gritty, are as confident as Ryan.
Yeah, they are.
As Ryan.
Are they mentally up there?
I hope they
Yeah, no, they are. They are. I'm telling you.
How do you know that, Ryan? Like on the pitch, if Ali said it, they're starting to ever so slightly drop off.
They were very good they were very good at the weekend. Even though they won 1-0, they were very good. I don't think Aberdeen had a shot on target. They had a couple of half chances. It could have been 3 or 4. So they were very good at the weekend. They won again. And even when they haven't been good.
And they've got the easy games coming up as well, on paper.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Kilmarnock don't have a great record at, and it's obviously on the AstroTurf. Get that. Then they have Dundee at home. And then the big one is, we're saying the big one is Motherwell. They've got Motherwell in 3 weeks.
You'd have get locked up if you'd said that a month ago. But
You don't have a job.
Honestly.
I know, but
It's
you're right.
crazy. I know it's
You're right.
crazy, but that is I looked at the block of fixtures, and I was, if we can get to Motherwell, we're doing well. I'm
Well,
not
do you
even-
know something? See an answer to your question when you're saying, you know, the Old Firm game at the weekend, the cup game, who's got the advantage? If ever there was an Old Firm game to show you anything can happen, it was Sunday.
Yeah.
That tells you all you need to know about the Rangers Celtic games. I mean, Rangers are 2-0 up, right? And there's people run about, I want 4, I want this, I want the next thing. And then the next minute you're going like, oh, blow the whistle. Yeah. Do you know, that just sums up the Rangers Celtic at the best of times. But listen, there's nothing between them.
Yeah.
Because even if we go back to the Celtic at Celtic Park, 3-1 Rangers, you know, Celtic
better
they
team
were
first half.
superior first half. They
First
should have
half.
been 3 up half time, but they didn't take the chances, and then Rangers just took over.
Yeah. Have you had any conversations with Danny Röhl?
No. I'm hopefully I get time. I'm going to nip in and see him.
Okay.
Very kindly invited me in for a cup of coffee and a wee catch up, which I will do. I know he's been great even in that respect. The boys were in to see him last Monday. I couldn't go. A lot of the old lads. He wanted the boys in to watch the training. So I think wee Durante, Big Mark, Bomber, wee Barry. There's a lot of the old boys in with a cup of tea and a bit of crack with him, which I would have loved, but I couldn't make it. But I'll get in and see him before the end of the game.
Okay. Are you happy with the job he's doing? I mean, you mentioned where he's taking
Delighted.
from you.
Delighted.
What would be a realistic, decent
Winning it.
end? Yep. So I said
Next
realistic.
question.
You worked with Brendan for many. Sorry, not Brendan. Martin. For
Oh yeah.
What's he like in the dressing room, especially when the pressure's on like this?
He's a fantastic man. So, I call him the gaffer. So the gaffer is so good at simplifying the game for you. He tells you what to do in your position. So you know exactly, this is how I have to play, you know, to stay in the team and to perform for him and always be in the starting 11. He's very good at it. But I think his biggest strength is obviously motivating the players, the way he speaks before games and everything. So he'll gonna fire them up. There's no question about that. So they can never ever, you know, blame the manager for not firing them up before games. This lot anyway. Yeah.
Well, you wonder what he said to them at half time.
Yeah, but I like though, and that's another positive going into the end of the season, that he hasn't maybe picked the right starting 11, but with the play he changes, he gets an impact, and they are changing the games for him. You know, a lot of times, not only at the weekend, but before then. You know, when he brought players in, they're performing for him. You know, like Tunekti is starting to become an impact player and so on. So that's a positive. Yeah.
I mean, Hatate did well when he came on.
Yeah.
Very well.
Ryan, talk to us about Derek McInnes. You've had personal experience with him. What kind of character is he?
Well, he'll tell you exactly how he feels. I don't think, probably a bit like Martin O'Neill, where you'll know exactly what your job is. If he's your manager, obviously, I was saying to you before we came on earlier, he tried to sign me a couple of times and I rejected his kind offers, and he never spoke to me for a long time. And made no bones about it, just would sit across from me and wouldn't bat an eyelid. You know what Dell's like.
He'd
Just
sit across a desk and blank you, yeah?
wasn't interested in me. So
how'd you deal with that?
Bit of red face and just kind of skim over the top of it. But I was leaving A United and I was going to go back to St Johnstone, which was his first manager's job, and Hearts came in for me. And there's not really a comparison there, so I decided I was going to go to Hearts, and then left with him screaming down the phone.
I wonder who was in the wrong then.
Great, isn't it?
I bet.
Exactly.
His exact words were, I better get in the car and drive straight to Perth, and I decided to go up there, mate, towards Edinburgh. So, but I think he's an amazing manager. I'm a massive advocate of him coming in. I think Hearts, if they're being honest, they stumbled upon him because they should have had him in 18 months earlier.
I think it's been absolutely perfect for the two of them. I think Derek left Kilmarnock at absolutely the correct time.
Yeah.
I thought he was a little bit unlucky to leave Aberdeen. I thought he did a great job at Aberdeen, incidentally, while we're talking about it.
I don't think Aberdeen have recovered.
No, I know they won the cup, but I wouldn't disagree with it. But I think the timing of Derek to go to Hearts suited Derek and it suited Hearts as well.
Yeah, I think everything sort of just fell into place. You have to be honest, obviously the turmoil that both Rangers found themselves in at the start of the season and Celtic are in has had an impact. And if Hearts do go on and win the league, there's absolutely no question Rangers and Celtic can't allow it to happen next year. So they have to, Celtic especially, have to sort themselves out. But the job, whether it's timing or whatever it is, the job that he's doing there is totally outstanding.
So just then on the subject of that, talking about the future roles for, say, Celtic, possibly Hearts, I mean, would Derek get a big move elsewhere? The Motherwell manager's been flying. You know, we know Martin's not going to be around next season. It sounds likely as well. So we're expected to see some movement this summer. Johan, who would you like to see come in at Celtic?
Oh, as long as they're a really strong character with a mentality that is harder than anything. Because being a manager of Celtic or Rangers, you need to be strong. That's just the way it is. And to sort out this mess. I would say, though, a name I want to throw into the hat is Graham Potter, actually. That is right now the national team for Sweden. Yeah.
Wow.
I just think
You look delighted with that, Shebahn. You look kind of thrilled.
I mean,
with that.
I'm surprised. Pleasantly.
No, I'm not too sure he's interested, but I do think he wants to get back to a club job than being a national, because he's not that old. And it's been, not failures, I wouldn't say, but he did great at Brighton, but then obviously stumbled a wee bit at Chelsea, West Ham, but big clubs. So he should be able, you know, to turn it around, I think, you know. But you got obviously the Motherwell manager that the Celtic supporters seem to like. What he's done with Motherwell is just unbelievable. That's incredible. But Motherwell compared to Celtic, that's a different kettle of fish.
Yep.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But I do think you'll clearly see movement in the summer. I mean, another option would be the Stevie after World Cup say enough's enough. Yeah, you know, I've done enough, done as much as I can with Scotland to go for a club job. Celtic would obviously be one that would be interested there. Would Derek take the Scotland job? I don't know. I just think there was so many things. From Hearts' point of view and Motherwell's point of view, you want to keep your manager for as long as humanly possible. But there will be changes in the summer, no doubt about it, somewhere.
It does sound like there's chat going on that the Motherwell manager could be headed to Celtic, and you can't blame them for having eyes on him. Ali mentioned there, Derek McInnes, possibly for Scotland.
Yeah, I think so. I think, first off, I think if you're the Motherwell manager, we were speaking about it earlier on, he'll be desperate to leave. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Because he can't take it.
But this might be his one opportunity to go and get a big move, whether it's down the Championship, Celtic. This is his time, because next year, will Motherwell be as good? We don't know.
Will they keep their players?
Probably not as well. You would imagine a few of them would leave. Yeah, and on the Hearts front, yeah, I think that if Steve does go, I watched an interview with Steve where he was talking about club football, and yeah, I think it was on Sky Sports, he might be interested in going back to club football if the right offer came up. And I think the only option if Steve does leave for Scotland is Derek. And I think Derek would ultimately take that.
I mean, if he wins the league, you'd be in contention there, wouldn't you, to go and take the national job?
And
Or, by the way,
Or qualify for the Champions League.
or stay there, enjoy Champions League football with an owner who's going to back, your owner is going to back you to the hill.
But you know, the minute you go into Champions League football and you're punished, essentially, because things get so much harder,
You're right.
so many more games, the pressure gets more full on,
right.
and then you're slaughtered. Because Scottish teams in Champions
But at
League,
the
I'm
same-
sorry, it's
Yeah, I
diabolical.
take your point, and you are 100%. However, I mean, what an incentive that is to manage Hearts in the Champions League. You know, with an owner who's going to support you. It's a strong thing to turn down, even for another job, I've got to say.
Yeah.
I just don't think, as much as I'm so for Hearts winning the league this year, and everybody says about Tony's 10-year plan, all that, I can't see Hearts winning it back to, if they do win it this year, and I hope they do, to then go and do it back to back and be the driving force in Scottish football. I think.
You don't think there could be an Aberdeen, for example?
No, I just don't think Rangers and Celtic can allow it. I honestly don't.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I just don't think that.
No.
Because this is, I mean, touch wood, right? But there's a chance Celtic finish 4th this season. I mean, that's an absolute disaster,
It is.
Johan.
It is.
So Ryan's right, it can't
It's
be allowed
unheard
to
of.
happen again.
It is a disaster because we have to say that we know that financially Celtic is in a healthy.
Can't believe you're
healthy
talking about
place.
Celtic finishing 4th. This has been my favourite programme.
I don't believe that, but it's I'm just going to say
right.
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen
This is
because they know
magic.
what's at stake now. The players they just need to pick up and make sure they win games. But I don't think they're going to finish 4th. But it's just like you say. I understand why you laugh, Ali, because it's just unbelievable that we speak about it.
I know. Empty, but it's not. I mean, Rangers can finish 4th.
Yeah.
It's not that far fetched because the teams round about are all playing well, and I keep going on about it. Hibs will take points. Hibs will take points off the other 4 clubs that we've mentioned. So it's brilliant.
I mean, anybody watching this just now will be enjoying all the conversations we can have about the Scottish Premiership this season. It's just been so many twists and turns. I mean, you mentioned strong characters coming to Celtic. Wilfred Nancy feels like it's never happened. All of a sudden, you know, like, what did you make of that, Johan?
Don't start me on that. It's long gone now. The damage is done. I just think it's. I mean, Rangers did it with Russell Martin, and then it's just unbelievable that Celtic did the same thing and bring someone. It just shows that maybe you have. I mean, you need to be spot on, not only when it comes to recruiting players. You need to recruit the right guys who's going to be in charge as well. I felt it was a big gamble after having characters like Brendan, you know, Ants before that, and Brendan as well, and then Martin O'Neill coming in, which we know has got a lot of character about him, and then this guy from MLS. I'm not going to dig him up there. I just think he was stubborn, he was too arrogant. Instead of being clever, he left Celtic in a worse place than he should be.
Yeah.
He's right. I mean, you look at the perfect example is Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. You know, you talk about being stubborn with your tactics. I mean, Michael Carrick's come in and just played people in their position and gone for. And it was the same with Celtic, you know. And I think sometimes you've just got to adapt to the surroundings. And instead of sometimes trying to be too clever, just do the natural thing. Just do the thing that you should be doing. Don't try and look for things, intricate, you know, clever things that perhaps aren't there. Just do what's right. Play to your strengths. And Martin, along with his ability to motivate players and get players to perform, that's all he's done. Danny Röhl's the exact same. He's been brought in a couple of bit of fresh players. Left back looks a player, by the way, I have to tell you. He looks a player. But a bit like the Rangers team, kind of dipped second half. So he's strengthened a little bit in the window there. But he's definitely got the team playing. They look better organised. There's a lot more belief about them. You know, they're harder to beat, which is important. It's the first thing, a little bit unlike Celtic. You know, I know they were dropping points, and the first thing that Danny Röhl did, he made them harder to beat. You know, at the start of the season, Rangers, you know, were losing games and the normal circumstances. You wouldn't, so you organise yourself, make yourself more difficult to beat, and then you try and add on bits and pieces. And it just, I mean, Russell Martin and Wilfred Nancy effectively, whether we like it or not, we're not going to dig them up, but it was a disaster for them, really. A disaster for the clubs. But again, who did it suit? Suited Hearts and Motherwell, because it allows them to go.
I'll give you a good example of it. It's like Martin O'Neill, who really likes to play with 2 centre strikers.
He does.
2 strikers.
He does.
It's like he would have, but he doesn't have the personnel. He doesn't have the players. So it's like he would have played with 2 strikers and just kept on doing it, despite having a team that is used to and probably benefited playing 4-3-3. He didn't. Yeah. That shows that you...
Of course it is. You look at your squad.
Yeah.
Right? You look at your squad, and what do? You play to the strengths of your squad. You don't play to, right, I want to play a 3 at the back and 2 wide. You don't do that if you've not got the best personnel.
No, exactly.
You look at your team and say, right, what's the best formation that my team can play in? What's the main strengths we can get the strongest performance at my team?
That's why Rangers are back in it.
Correct.
Because Danny Röhl was clever. He knew he had to win football games. Well, it's not about the style or anything. Just make sure you win games and pick the right team.
So what you're saying is essentially that is the reason why Hearts are top of the league.
No, not at all.
I'm kidding.
No,
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
No, I won't hear it.
I'm joking.
But it's your job to... And Ryan said it himself, right? There's no doubt it has had a bearing where Hearts are due to the fact that the drop-off in Rangers... Well, I would argue more the drop-off in Celtic because I think Danny Röhl, our drop-off was early on. We've actually improved. Yeah. Rangers have improved under Danny Röhl. But Hearts have been the most consistent and best team in the league.
When all this chaos was going on with Rangers and Celtic, that you're right, you pointed out earlier on, the feeling was just that we'll stick together, one club. We've not got any disharmony going on between the fans and the board and the players and all this kind of nonsense. It made it stronger for Hearts this season.
Absolutely, but it just shows you how big an impact it has. Because when I was at Hearts, we had that. So at board level, it was just a shambles. Then, and no matter how good a changing room you've got, how good players you've got, it does have an effect because it has an effect on the fans.
Yeah.
It then filters into players. And I think the importance of having a strong board is massive. Having football-minded people in the board as well to make the right decisions because Wilfred Nancy, when he came in, I covered the first game and as soon as he walked out, I just had the feeling after 5 minutes, I turned around to Pat Bonner and I said to Pat, they are so wide open. This is kamikaze football. Like they cannot play this way, especially in Europe. That new coach where they just will not change, as you guys are saying, you have to play, the personnel you have will dictate the shape that you play. But again, I just think it comes from the board level into the players, onto the fans, because you can see more Celtic now than Rangers, just the implosion it is having, where Hearts have came through that, and they now have a board where the fans are involved in the board are all collective, and it just filters down, and then you have a manager who has a relationship with the board, dictates to the players, and it just makes for a much better footing.
Okay.
Good point.
Quickly, would you have Ange back? Ange Postecoglou? He said he wouldn't.
I know he said he's gone out publicly. He's not going to take the Celtic job again. But yeah, I would from.
Tell you now, man, Celtic Spurs would take him back.
Yeah.
Honestly. What a carry on.
Derek McInnes to Spurs, anyone? I want an answer from all of you. Who's going to win the league?
Rangers.
Right.
Hearts.
Celtic.
Okay.
Big shock there, eh?
Yeah.
Big
Shocker, Rooney, that was. Are you being serious? Is that you, Henry?
I'm
you think
serious.
Rangers are going to win the league?
I've been serious. Have you been serious?
Have these two been serious?
Exactly. You've heard of it, Ryan. We've got a better chance than you.
Motherwell's got a better chance than
Exactly.
Rangers and
Jesus.
Celtic.
Tell you what,
Don't-
we need to reconvene in 4 weeks.
We do.
4 of us.
We do and we will. Great chat, Trips. Honestly, that's absolutely brilliant. Before we finish, I'm going to ask you all to put your necks on the line, starting with you, Ali. Who is going to be relegated?
Oh, man alive. Tell you what I'll say to you. There could be 2 go down for the top league this year. Because I'm not sure 11th place will beat the championship team, to be brutally honest with you.
If it's St Mirren, they'll go down.
Do you think so?
If they're 11th, I don't think they'll win the playoff.
I think Livy will go down.
That's
I think
unbelievable.
Livy
They have won the
will
league
go
cup.
down.
Yeah,
I'm going to say-
Isn't that crazy?
They might.
Incredible. I think Livy will go down, right? And I seriously think 11th place could be banging trouble because it looks Lucy Johnson win it. Party have made the playoffs and it might just be their year, you know.
Okay.
But I think Livy they're not down, but I think they will go down.
Fair. Ryan?
Yeah, I think Livingston will go down, and I think if Kilmarnock finish 11th or 10th, sorry, I think they would stay up. I think Neil McCann's got enough about him. I think St Mirren are in free fall.
Okay. All right. That was just weird, isn't it, considering?
It's amazing,
win a
isn't it?
cup.
You think that level of performance in the League Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would sum up the season.
Yeah. Wouldn't it?
That would sum up the
Just
season.
pure mental. Absolutely
Win the
mental.
cup and get relegated.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Would St Mirren fans have settled for that? Probably not.
No. No.
You can't get relegated for a cup, can you?
Well, look at the team that's coming back up. They won the cup, both cups in 1 year, didn't they? Not so long ago, St Johnstone. Didn't they? They won the League Cup and the Scottish FA Cup.
Very good point. Listen, we wait and see what happens this weekend. We'll reconvene in another month's
We will.
time. God knows
We
what will
should.
happen by then. Been absolutely wonderful to chat to you, Johan Mjällby, Ryan Stevenson, Super Ali McCoist. Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much for watching. You can get in the comments and let us know your thoughts. Who do you think is going to finish top 4? That's it for this month's Wee Football Show. Thank you very much to all of you for watching. Thank you so much to all of our guests here in the studio. And we'll see you again in April. Bye, driver.
All right, folks, it's Ali McCoist here, and I have got an absolute belter of an offer for all you Scotland fans. When you stick a tenner on with talkSPORT Bet, we'll give you 40 quid, yes, £40 in free bets, and it's just for you lot watching the Scotland show. So if you fancy getting involved, head over to talksport.com/WFS and claim your exclusive offer today. And I don't say I do not look after you lot.